Hi everybody, thank you again for tuning in to Home Built Happiness. You're tuned in currently to episode 6 of our cargo trailer conversion build. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, right here, we're going to link in video 1. That starts this series. You can watch everything up till now. What are we going to do this week? We got something in store for you. We're going to talk flooring. We're going to talk stain. And then last but not least, and unfortunately, we're going to talk about leaks as well. Some things that I did early on, some things I probably didn't do well enough early on, and some things if you're planning on doing this, you should go ahead and start doing right now. Alright guys, let's jump in, see what we can do, alright? Today we're going to do some flooring. We got this at Walmart, and it's not the wood, the hardwood floor look, the snap together that everybody's using in these. We just wanted something to not have plywood on the floor. We just wanted to cover up, make it look more like an apartment or like a tiny home than a cargo trailer. So we got this. It's peel and stick. I think it's 83 cents a square feet is what we paid for it. And I started a couple pieces over there. Now, one thing I did buy to go along with this is some contact cement, and I have not used it because I put a sheet down just to test. And when I put it down, I tried to peel it back up, and this stuff is stuck. Now I'm going through, I'm thoroughly cleaning these floors. I'm brushing any dirt and debris away before I stick them, but it is looking like we got one heck of an adhesion going on. But if any of them do start to come up later on, I can just put some, pull it up, put some contact cement on it, put it back down. And while I'm doing this, and again, I'm not an expert at laying this stuff down. I just know what I've read online. It's my first time laying any of this. I am leaving a gap. You'll see on the end I'm leaving a gap. I know a lot of people that install this stuff, a concern of theirs is that when the temperature changes from hot to cold, there's expansion that happens with these. And when that expansion happens, they tend to hit that wall and then start to bow out. And you'll start to get, they'll start to lift. So to try to get around that, I'm leaving gaps, and I'll just caulk that in, and hopefully that'll give a little bit of room for expansion on these. And it's not really all that difficult. Basically, we're just gonna peel it and stick it and trim it where it needs to be trimmed. There's a couple areas here that I think I can get some gray, like some gray caulk or some gray sealer, and just fill those in. Again, I'm not an expert, folks. I'm showing you what I do. I know there's people watching this that are probably professionals that can point out 20 things I'm doing wrong. And I would like to hear it. I mean, it's not going to change matters. It's already going to be done, but I would like to hear if there's a better way of doing this. I've done a little bit of reading. It's my understanding you just peel and stick it, and if we have to tear it up later, then that's what we do. All right, let's lay a little bit more of this. So one thing that I really want to add with your camper builds, get in them when it's raining. And I don't mean a light drizzle rain. I'm talking about a torrential downpour rain. So we're in Florida right now. When we were building this up, it did rain hard a couple days. And I went ahead and sealed the roof. This was a brand new trailer. As you can see earlier in this video, we flex sealed all the seams. We taped everything off. One thing that I had never looked at, and it had never rained hard enough. It really has to get torrential downpour rain. So we are in South Florida, and you can see that like the yards are starting to hold water. I mean, there's a little bit of flooding down the street there. It rained really rough where we're at. And one thing that I noticed was that because of how these screws are installed, it causes our door to actually stick out very, very little, but once you get towards the end, you'll see that gap actually widens up. And if you can look, you can see a little bit of light, it looks like, through there. So, folks, we got some wetness there, some wetness there. We had a little bit of wetness down there. Underneath here, you can see that we're leaking within the door. And listen, everybody, this isn't a case of us not doing our due diligence and checking for leaks. We were in here multiple times when it rained, and we did not see anything. It has to do with the volume of rain. So while I'm in here today, I mean, it is raining harder than it has since we've been down in this neck of the woods. So with it raining this hard, now I'm starting to see this stuff. I'm also keeping my eyes peeled around the camper for any other leaks. The places that I'm looking is down along the bottom here. Like, for example, right there. Definitely looking back here where our electrical is. So these are the fun things about these builds that you really don't realize until sort of after the fact. So yeah, it's like we have insulation, we have walls up, we have things sealed and seamed, and now I'm spotting under very, very heavy rain conditions areas where there could be breaches. Not cool, really not cool. All right, folks, so today, instead of finishing the floor, before the rain comes, we're gonna hit some of these seams. So I wanna take you through and kind of show you what I found after the fact, after being in a torrential downpour. And again, this isn't a lack of due diligence, or maybe it is in some of your opinions, but we sat inside the trailer. We had assumed that the responsibility of the builder would be to ensure that a brand new trailer doesn't leak when it rains. Then again, there's also the caveat that these things aren't really made for the purpose that we're using it for. But hopefully this will solve our problem. Let me show you what we're doing. Alright, so right here, I'm going along all of these seams, and you can see, like, right here where I'm putting a bead of sealant. And what I'm doing is I'm basically checking areas like that right there. So one thing in this whole series I have not talked about is this table. I'm sure you've seen it in some of the prior videos. What is it? Where did I get it from? How did I make it? So basically what it is, there's usually a lip that resides up there. That's for bringing things on and off of your trailer when you have the door down. Since we're not using that door, I unscrewed it from there and I screwed it there. And then I just bought these. Whenever you want to put your table in place, you just fold this up, hook it, and there you go. You do the same to the other side. I do have a little bit of a method to the madness here. So basically I'm trying to go through and fill in all the grain with a brush. Once I fill it in, I'm going through and I'm just rolling it over. I'm going to use this as kind of like a paint guide. so that I'm not ruining my wall. And like I said, there's a good chance that like this is not the best way to do this. So unless you see what I'm doing and you really, really, really like the result, I would say check out some videos from somebody who's an expert doing this. And hopefully a couple years from now, will be a lot better than today. And when I'm talking to somebody, I can say, hey, you see this? This is because I had to stop working with it for a while to set up my GoPro to make a video. Don't do that. Time is kind of the essence when you're working with this stuff. You know, if you take any breaks and it starts to set in and you recoat, you're going to get a dark spot like that. So that's an example of what not to do. All right, there we go. Not too shabby for a first time. I think I might even take and do our door also. Yeah, hey, why not, right? Let's do the door. All right, and that's it. So our polyurethane is done on the door. We got a nice sheen. It has a nice stained look to it. This is also going to protect us against any high humidity in the trailer. It'll keep that from soaking into the wood. We've done our tabletop and this door as well. About 2 days after I did that door and I did that table, we went ahead and did the ceiling as well. This stuff works great. It's about $15 a quart, and I used to do every single thing in this trailer. I used exactly a quart. I used exactly a quart. I used exactly a quart. In regards to the flooring, I don't know what I'm doing. Cut me some slack, you all. But let's browse it. So, this is our finished product. And honestly, I'm satisfied. I don't really have any complaints about it. We have not had any problems. As far as any gaps, we were able just to jump in there with a little bit of caulking and just, you know, fill it in. It was fine. I know there's different ways to lay this stuff. Some folks overlap the creases. Whatever. It looks good to me. And the point of this camper is that I'm not going to be staring at my feet the whole time. I just don't want it to look like a cargo trailer. I want it to be homey. Last, but certainly not least, is leaks. I've said this once before. I don't feel it was a lack of due diligence. However, don't test with rain. That's one thing I will say. If you buy this trailer and you're gonna build it up, if you go on any forums, cargo trailer forums, RV forums, home building forums, you'll realize that 2021 is a terrible year for quality. It sucks. It's high prices, low quality in 2021. So if you get your trailer, I would say get in it, have somebody spraying it down from the outside with a water hose, spray it at every angle, not just how rain's gonna fall on it. If you see a seam, spray into it, spray onto the top, spray into every little crack you see. And if you get that water inside the trailer, I would go ahead and mark it and seal it right then. Honestly, if it's behind these walls, no one's gonna see it. Use silicone, use Big Stretch, Lexel. Who cares? Something that's adhesive. something that's going to stick to it and stay there. What we did, if you look at our prior videos, you'll see that every panel of insulation we sealed and used foil tape on every seam in this trailer. And you'll also notice in the roof that we had taken Flex Seal, and at every single roof seam we had sprayed that seam and then we foil taped over it. Absolutely look at your doors. And if you've ordered a unit with windows pre-installed, look at the windows. It's very, very important. They're not building these things for you to live in full time. They're not building them for you to live in at all. You're not even supposed to be in these things except to get your stuff out of them. Look at the doors, particularly around the top. Let me give you a little idea. So that corner right there, you want to seal that. You want to seal inside of there. You want to seal on top right here. You want to seal underneath it. You also want to take these door corners. You want to seal inside of those. You can also see that I've taken a grinder and I've actually egged that out to where we don't have those issues with those screws anymore. I mean, look at those welds, folks. You weren't dealing with world-class workmanship on this thing, I promise. Oh man, well, I guess that's it for this episode. You know, I'm kind of, my heart's hurting here. We have one more left. I think we're gonna wrap her up in episode 7. So it's kind of a finale episode, right? We're gonna kick back, we're gonna answer some questions, Lauren and I guess some of the things we could answer is, how long did we wait for this trailer? In 2021, people are having to wait for these trailers because we're back ordered. How long did we have to wait for it? What was our favorite parts of doing it? What was the worst parts of the trailer build? Are there any things that we regret? Would we have done it different in any way? Maybe. But you'll have to wait till next week to find out. Hey, I appreciate all of you. I'm going to end this by saying I appreciate you guys that watch this stuff from beginning to end. Thanks for staying tuned. Do all the things, man. Subscribe, click the bell, the button, whatever you got to do to keep up to date with what we're going to give you. We like to have you on the team. Join the family. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notifications button. I don't even know how to do all that stuff. I hear other people say it, so just click all the things. You'll get notified next time we upload one of these. Till next time, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye. Or cheers.